since the game came out in year 2020, you'll be getting a figure of Yae Miko 6 years later in 2026. It is so laughable, man. Hi and welcome back to the channel. I'm Steven with your weekly figure news fix, this time around 3rd to 8th of March 2025. For genuine and licensed figures, we have a moderate amount of stuff, maybe 3 scale figures that are kind of interesting, and a figure brand that is returning after disappearing for at least a year, maybe even 2 years. But from what I know, this figure brand is not exactly a manufacturer, like the big kind of brand, you know. It is more like a small circle of enthusiastic hobbyists who started their own brand and selling their own figures in a very small quantity, something like that. So we'll get into the details in a second. For third parties, since we did not have any Anya figures last week, it means that, yep, this week we have a lot of Anya spam. We do have Azur Lane, Blue Archive, and Honkai stuff, though we'll see. Okay, so starting off with Hobby Link Japan, the scale figures, licensed ones. HLJ, please, I beg you guys to upload the pictures for the price figures you're taking pre-orders on. Like, how am I supposed to know which freelance figure I'm pre-ordering when that one single brand like Taito, they have so many different freelance figures? Which one am I pre-ordering, right? Upload the pictures, seriously. Moving on to 1x4 scales, this resin figure over here by Tri-Eagles Studio, Path to Nowhere Kokalik, went on pre-order last week on OSGK, I mean. Now available in HLJ for only 116,000 yen, which is kind of reasonable for a licensed resin statue. Yeah. Normally it is 150 or even 200k, especially when you include that large sofa or couch over there, right? This is pretty cheap for licensed resin. Right, moving on to the new stuff this week. Freeing is pretty desperate, it seems. 3 1x4 scale bunny figures from Uzaki-chan Wants to Hang Out. Second season. Hana Uzaki Barely Bunny version, 30,000 yen. The younger sister, I believe. Yep, Yanagi Uzaki Bunny version, 30,000 yen as well. She looks more like that main character in H anime who wants to NTR the whole school, you know, with her eyes closed up like that. And then the third one here, their mom, who is just as hot. Suki Uzaki Barely Bunny version, 30,000 yen as well. All 3 within the same week. Normally, Freeing will put 1 on pre-order each week. Now, all 3 in one single week. I think within 2 days. Yeah. So what is up? Like, I suppose that nobody is pre-ordering your figures, so you need to take an existing figure which have been popular in the past and then remove the stockings and put them out for pre-order again, because why not? This is pretty weird, but if you pre-order all 3, that is 90,000 yen in one single month. That is not yet counting the other figures you might be interested in. Can't recommend them, I can't. Alright, moving on to the next one here, 1x6 scale territory. We have Yura's Baseball, original character by Lim Land. 16,200 yen, October release. Hell yeah. This figure is unique enough in so many ways, which unfortunately I couldn't show you guys the full picture on screen. And even, yeah, what is being displayed on the large screens in the stadium in the background is kind of dodgy. This is amazing. And this Yura baseball figure reminds me of the very same character, more like a similar character with the same name by SSR figure, the yoga figure which I reviewed on this channel. Are they the same character, the same artist? It almost feels that way to me, but at the same time, the bust size is too different. This is like F cup, meanwhile the yoga figure by SSR, that is like B cup at most. So maybe not the same character, but very similar. Maybe they are sisters, I don't know, but same name anyways. Get it, right? So Lim Land is a very new figure brand from China, and while they don't have much of a reputation yet, like we don't know how their quality is like yet, but who cares? These Chinese brands are coming up with gems one over another. Even the new brands that are making their first figures, like the Model Way figure I just reviewed a couple of days ago. Incredible! I'm more likely to trust a new Chinese figure brand than a Japanese one at this point. Yeah. So this character, I love it. Pre-order it if you have no problems affording one. This is pretty cheap. There is an Ami exclusive version. More like Ami is adding their very own bonus, their own merch for almost 19,000 yen, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So if you want merch, then get this figure from Ami. Moving on to the next one here. 1x6 skill Azur Lane Atago OL version. What does the word OL mean? OnlyFans version. No. OnlyFans would be OF, right? OL version. Never mind. So this is by Any Game, Chinese brand as well. 18,000 yen, February release. So yeah, Any Game. It feels like they are way behind schedule. They put up very simple figures on pre-order. Most of their Azur Lane figures are 1x6 scale, very tall but very simple. 20,000 yen or less. And you wait at least a year to get it. Sometimes 14 months even. Now this is waiting exactly a year, coming out in February, but very simple figure, right? So I'm not sure what is holding them up. It feels like they don't have the capacity to manufacture so many figures, but they keep taking new pre-orders. Yeah. But their figures in general are quite fine. I wouldn't rank them very high, maybe B to B+, which is very good in my books, by the way. B+ is very good already. So if you like her, maybe pick one up. There are many options for this character. Even the Alter one, right, that came out so many years ago, it is not hard to find. Yeah. That is in swimsuit, I believe. Yeah, white color swimsuit. Moving up to the next figure from Wave Corporation, another Rurudo Art Eve figure. At 1x6 scale, 27,000 yen before taxes is exorbitant. It is very expensive. That also means this figure is probably close to 30,000 yen in Ami before any discounts, if any. And coming out in September, just 6 months away. Is it worth 27,000 yen? I'll leave it to you to decide, right? Because the best E-figure is now no longer attainable unless you are filthy rich. One of the edgy figure brands, Pink Charm or Pink Cat, I can't remember, that is one of the only 1 or 2 cast-offable figures of Eve, and at least 40,000 yen if not more. And that is if you're lucky, can go much higher, right? From what I know, the artist no longer wants their this character to be loot, so every subsequent figure since then, they are not cast-offable, further increasing the value of the earlier release by those edgy figure companies. Yeah. My personal preference for the non-cast-offable ones is the one by Limland. It was like 16 or 18,000 yen. Went on pre-order a month ago, I think. Still available for pre-order. And if you want one, better hurry. Yeah, the one by Limland, Chinese figure brand. And I actually prefer that one over this version by Wave over here. But Wave as a company is very consistent in QC. So at least you know that you'll be paying for quality. I guess there is a peace of mind over there when you pre-order a Wave Corporation figure. They have been around for very long. Like, they're almost as old as Good Smile Company, if not older. Like, they have been around for at least a decade, more than that. And they mainly specialize in making model kits and, yeah, those battleships and stuff like that. They do come up with new figures every once in a while, not their main business, but when they do, their quality control is quite good. But I haven't ranked them above B+ yet in terms of my company rankings, because despite their QC control, their figures are on the simple side, right? How many parts are there in this figure? Maybe 20 parts? Separate parts to be painted, I mean, to be molded and painted. 20 parts maybe, 15 to 20 parts, I'm not sure. But that is considered very simple, actually. When they are able to come up with 40,000+ yen ultra complex figures that has twice or thrice the number of parts and get it perfectly right, then yeah, I would rank them A or even S tier. But so far, their figures are all very simple stuff. Yeah. As for whether you should get it, I guess that if you are a hardcore fan of this character, then by all means pre-order it, because you can feel rest assured that the quality is going to turn out great at least, right? You're paying for the quality over there. Now, moving on to my little rant about MFC again. A low quality meme winning picture of the day. Yeah, and that is the reason why so many good photographers, figure photographers, they have left MFC. At this point, for the past few years, everyone were leaving, right? Only a few left. It was exactly for that reason, like people be voting for their favorite characters instead of voting for an actual artwork or photograph that is actually good. So people who vote for pictures of the day, they are not looking at the skill aspect of the author behind the photograph or the picture. I like the character, I click 5 stars. That is what MFC is like nowadays. So yeah, the photographers left. It is complete nonsense, man. Yeah, and I myself, I no longer care about winning POTD or POTMs over there. I have 15 POTMs there, by the way. But the last time I won one was like 2019, 2020. I just don't care anymore because, the audience over there, right? The people over there, they have changed over the past few years. Anyways, rant over. Now we shall move on to the next figure over here. Okay, 2 1x6 scale budget figures by Chinese brands. The first one here is Desert Princess Belle by Young Lady. 12,400 yen, releasing in December. There are many neo Chinese brands nowadays, and Young Lady is just one of them. They don't have a single figure released yet. But this is like their second or third figure on pre-order currently, and so far, nothing that they are making I'm liking. This looks closer to price figure in terms of, the detail level and everything else. The pose and everything have been pretty plain, right? So I'm not buying anything from Young Lady yet, and even if this figure is released in December later or earlier than that, and I see it in stock, no, I don't think I'll be buying. Yeah. Give me something nicer. I do appreciate that her mask, I'll just call it a mask. I do appreciate that the mask is removable, but outside of that, nothing too special about this one. The next low budget figure over here, same thing. Eclipse Collectibles, their stuff are actually a bit more expensive than Animaster or Young Lady earlier, or Bear Panda even. Yeah, the figures average around 15,000 yen, plus minus 1,000, 2,000 yen. This is Kasuga Maiden Misaki 1x6 scale, 15k, December release. It feels like they took a character from Azur Lane or one of the popular games, and then they made a generic version of it and call it an original character. It feels that way to me. And I'm not feeling it. Yeah, this is like a slightly better price figure as well. And especially when you look at the close-up photos, it is like you could feel that the details are kind of lacking in a way. Not that I should expect detail in a low-budget figure, but this is no longer that low budget when she is 15,000 yen. Yeah. So this week's low-budget scale figures from Chinese brands are kind of underwhelming, I have to say. Moving on to the next figure, the main highlights this week, and at the time of recording this video, the number 1 ranking figure pre-order at Ami, which isn't too surprising. So we have Apex Toys 1x7 scale Yae Miko for only 23,000 yen, very reasonable. Except, you will be waiting 15 months to get her because she is coming out in May 2026. So this has to be the longest wait yet for an Apex Toys scale figure. Normally, an Apex Toys figure is around 10 to 12 months between pre-order to release. This is 15 months. Yeah, unprecedented. Okay, so with Yae Miko, and together with characters like Raiden Shogun, some of the most popular characters in Genshin Impact which never got a proper figure up until this point, for the case of Yae Miko, and nobody knew the actual reason behind it. But from what I have noticed, MiHoYo, they don't seem to care about figures that much. At least for so many kinds of merchandise, they don't care for figures. Their focus is elsewhere. Maybe there is something else that is making them more money. So that is where the focus is. Another possible reason is protectionism, right? Like, if someone is going to make figures of my game, me being a Chinese developer, then I want to let a Chinese brand do it instead of some foreign brand, right? Because I want to help the local companies grow. It is a thing actually. For example, in my country, foreign branded cars are taxed by 100%. Yeah, our cars are expensive because the government wants to protect the local car brands. Fair or unfair, I don't know. right? But it is actually a thing, not just in Malaysia, in my country. It is a thing in many countries, right? Just that in various different forms. So I wouldn't rule out protectionism as one of the possible reasons. Yeah, sure. They'll let Good Smile do the Nandos, right? Like nobody else are doing Nandos at this point. But for scale figures, they want the Chinese brands to do it. But Apex Toys has a really long backlog. So yeah. Since the game came out in year 2020, you'll be getting a figure of Yae Miko 6 years later in 2026. It is so laughable, man. Of course, you will point out that Wonderful Works got their hands on Yola and Outer Official, but yeah, they are starting to open up the license to everyone. That's what I'm thinking over here. And Kotobukiya with Lumin and Aether, right? Anyways, I don't know the actual reason. I'm just speculating over here. Should you get it? Well, here's the thing. With Apex Toys figures, right? They don't really become rare. Even today, after so many years, Keqing and Ningguang came out, you can still find them for the official recommended retail price. Yeah, whatever the price is. Like Ningguang was like 30,000 yen, I think. Yeah, can still find her for the official price. So if you feel like you have too many figure pre-orders in that particular month, I don't think you have anything in May 2026 yet, then you don't have to pre-order this. She'll be easy to find, at least in Chinese websites like Taobao. Yup. Okay, moving on to the next one here. I did not expect to see one of the most overpriced figures of the week to come from Good Smile Company. So this Anya Forger detective version must be from the movie, I think, Spy Family Code White, right? I haven't watched it yet, don't have the time. This thing is over 16,000 yen, coming out this October. Yeah, it is going to be better than a pop-up parade, but 16,000 yen, what the hell? Just in case you guys did not know, that Your Forger figure by Good Smile Company, which comes with Anya as a set, right? The casual outfit. Yeah, with Your Forger wearing a red color sweater. That thing bargain bins to 10,000 yen brand new in Ami Ami. I'm not kidding. So if I can have Your Forger and Anya together at 10,000 yen, why would I pay 16,000 yen for Anya alone, right? It makes no sense. And the second thing is that I have started to notice like the popularity of Spy Family is starting to decline gradually. Like, I mean, it is seasonal anime in a way. Even though season 2 is confirmed and we don't know when it is airing, I haven't been checking the news. It is still seasonal anime, right? And as is the tradition with seasonal anime, people forget things very quickly. Anime fans have short memory, yeah. I mean, you couldn't call a 5-year-old child your waifu. That would be weird, but it is still, you know, I mean, you get the point, right? I don't have to go into detail over here. So, when there is an overproduction and nobody buys it because they don't care anymore, naturally the value is going to plunge, which is what happened to those Spy Family scale figures by Good Smile. So, I can't recommend pre-ordering this thing at all. I would even wager that this would be to 8,000 yen after release, like a few months after release, not immediately after, right? So don't pre-order this thing, it is not worth it. Moving on to the next scale figure over here. Now this is the brand I briefly mentioned earlier at the start of today's video, by this brand called Sakura Gear. So Bunimals Rosa, 27,000 yen for those of you who love furries. Please pre-order it, otherwise you are going to regret it really badly. Right, coming out in February next year, 1 year wait. So Sakura Gear has only one other figure, if my memory is correct. Another furry figure, I can't remember the character's name. I think it was a dog or a wolf, something like that. Wearing something very similar to a bunny suit as well. You know that figure, when she went on pre-order, was it a year or even 2 years ago? It sold out within a few hours. The figure was listed for pre-order. So now, at the time of recording this video, and looking at Rosa here, still available for pre-order, this is considered lukewarm response compared to their first release, right? And the very first Sakura Gear furry figure back then, it turns out great. I've seen the pictures myself, user pictures. It turns out really good. So I don't think you have to worry about the quality, what it will be like for this brand over here, even though they don't have much of a reputation other than one single release at least a year ago. And as for this brand, it is not like a big company, you know, like Good Smile, Kotobukiya. They are not that. It is like a small circle of hobbyists, very enthusiastic people who decided to convert their own characters into figures. Yeah, a small team making their own figures in very limited quantities and selling them to everyone who wants it. So this is not easy to get your hands on, and if you want it and you're watching this video right now on a Sunday, maybe you are already a little bit late. Y'all furry lovers, you don't get many figures like this, right? Yeah, so go for it. Even if she is 27,000 yen, which is leaning towards the expensive side of things. It is quite pricey for 1x7. Moving on to the next one here, we have one of the worst scale figures of the week, maybe even of the month. And it is no surprise that this is coming from Proof. I have already raised my concerns like a couple of weeks ago. Coming from MegaHouse, it is a classic, but there was a remake recently, I think. I did not watch it. Original work Ranma Saotome by Proof. 27,000 yen, which is laughable. Preposterous even. And this discount by HLJ makes it a little bit better, but even at 24,000 yen, I just couldn't recommend you guys to get this thing at all. MegaHouse, just get the pop-up parade. Now for once, I'm going to tell you guys to buy a pop-up parade over a proper scale figure. The thing with classic anime characters from 20 or 30 years ago is that their detail level in character design is not at the level of today's game characters or anime characters even. So, even if we are looking at one of the best scale figure brands out there, choosing to make a classic anime character into a high quality, high-end scale figure, there is a limited amount of things they can do to make the figure look exceptional. So, with classic stuff, buying low-budget figures make more sense than going for something high-end, I would say. And I suppose that HLJ already knows that this figure is not going to sell well, like they won't get many pre-orders, which is why they gave a pretty decent discount from the get-go on day one of pre-order, because they know they won't get many pre-orders to begin with. Unlike Ami, HLJ, they don't discount their pre-orders a lot. But I'm okay with that because they don't charge us the 10% Japanese tax. So that by itself is already making the figure cheaper, slightly cheaper than some other websites. But to see them at a discount on top of no tax, not a good sign, if I have to be honest. Yeah, so no, don't pre-order this thing, please don't. Moving on to the next one here. This is a non-scale Gallica from Metaphor with Fantasio. Yep. This was announced in the Kotobukiya figure event like a month ago. 15,000 yen only. I'm very surprised. October release. So from the looks of this character, which I know nothing about, a fairy, and non-scale, maybe the figure is kind of small, which is why she is so cheap. Maybe. I did not check the dimensions of this figure, but I can't imagine this thing being big. But if you loved this game, I can see the Kotobukiya series being a very good line of figures to collect, right? Because Kotobukiya announced many characters, many figures from this game in the recent event. And this figure of Gallica by no means looks bad at all. It doesn't. It looks really decent. I love the wings. I love her outfit. Lots of details going on in this figure at 15,000 yen. And even if the figure is a little bit small, yeah, worth it. And this is a nice photograph. I like this photo a lot. Okay, moving on to the next one here. Non-scale again. Goblin Slayer 2 Guild Girl by Union Creative. 21,000 yen. October release quite soon. Guild Girl. This is like an insert character, right? Not one of the main characters or not even the main supporting characters. I don't remember anymore even though I did watch the anime. So, a random side character getting a scale figure from Union Creative. Well, it is coming from Union Creative. I suppose I'm not too surprised. Okay, 21,000 yen. Is it expensive? Kind of. Right? With non-scale Union Creative figures, they are usually quite big. Anywhere between 1.7 to 1.6. But still, this could have been 20% cheaper. That is what I feel. I would compare this to an ordinary school uniform anime figure. JK figure. This is not too far off. Except this is more like office lady outfits in a way. So 21k is pretty pricey for this one. Moving on to the next one from MegaHouse. Excellent model Rah DX series. GA Neo Mobile Suit Gundam Double Z. Elpio Play Ray. How to pronounce that? Okay, Double Z. You see, I wanted to watch this Gundam Double Z thing, but I haven't gotten around to watch it because I just couldn't finish Gundam Zeta at all. So I have to finish Zeta before I can watch Double Z, right? But those old school Gundam shows, they are really turning me off with their with the animation, which isn't as good as today's anime. Anyways, back to this figure over here, 17,000 yen. And given that this is MegaHouse excellent model Rah DX series, which is a very old product line, has been around forever, this is closer to 1/8 scale, even though there's no scale. Yeah, so not a very big figure. At least the Gundam people who want to collect figures, they get the opportunity to buy their waifus. Because no one else would make female heroines, right? From Gundam series. No one else would do it, only MegaHouse would. Okay, moving on to the next one here. Now we are going into low budget figure territory. Starting off with Tenitol by Furio. Hatsune Miku Galaxy live version. Almost, it is 8,000 yen before discounts. October release. This must be Tenitol L, right? No, is it not? Is it not? Because the normal Tenitol is around 5,500, 6,000 yen, you know. This is 8,000 yen, which is normally Tenitol L series pricing. But this is not Tenitol L, apparently. Man, inflation is no joke nowadays. Mains work looks really nice though. Do you see how they do the gradient work on the hair over here? Yeah, the shading on the hair is really nice. Not complaining though. As long the figure turns out good, maybe it is justifiable, maybe, but I would prefer this to be bigger. Yeah, I hope that this is a Tenitol L. Moving on to the next Tenitol figure, we have Lily Aoi from Magilumia, Magical Girls. Seasonal anime, and as usual, I don't have time to give it even a try yet. Yep, there we go, 6,000 yen. That is the normal price for Tenitol, so I'm not sure what's going on with that Miku earlier. So we can assume that the other two characters are going to get their figures eventually in the coming weeks. Is this even the main character from Magilumia? I don't think so, right? One of the main characters, I think. Once again, the paintwork on the dress caught my attention. This is real shading. This is not shadows from lighting. This is proper shading. Because you see the light is coming from the left. There is a light on the left of this figure. Yet, yeah, we have dark regions over here where this region is supposed to be bright, right? But it is dark. So this is actually real painting over here. Quite nice. Okay, moving on to the next one here, Pop Parade Special SP. We have Tokoyami Towa Hololive Production 6,200 yen by Max Factory, which is good news. Pre-order it. Yeah, I've said this like a bazillion times. Hololive Pop-up Parades, regardless of what I say, their value goes up even if they turn out to be trash. So if you like what you're looking, pre-order it. Yes, but at least this is by Max Factory. It is going to be better than the ones made by Good Smile. More purple hair waifu, because I do like this one. Okay, moving on to the next Pop Parade over here. Wow, Pop Parade SP Doom Marine from Doom. Oh yeah, that horror shooting game, right? 8,500 yen. That is a lot for a normal Pop Parade, right? This is not an L. Not my kind of thing, but if you play the game and you like the game, maybe get one. Yeah. Don't have to pre-order it early. You can wait until after release. Moving on to the next Pop Parade, we have Sylvain. Is it Jose, right? Not Jose. Jose, right? Gautier, Fire Emblem, Three Houses. 5,000 yen, September release. Sometimes I have no idea how these figure companies plan the pre-order date. Like, we had a couple of Fire Emblem figures from the Pop Parade line on pre-order like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and then nothing, and then now this character 3 weeks later. Looks like a typical main character in an RPG game. Yeah. Moving on to the next one here. Okay, MegaHouse GEM series must be, yeah, the small figures, the palm-sized figures. This is under their Tenohira series. Kei Tsukishima, that really tall guy in Haikyuu, who is always grumpy. 7,000 yen, September release. In the anime, Kei is known for his height. He's the tallest member in his team, over 190 cm if I remembered correctly. So it is quite a shame that this character is being made into a sitting post figure because he needs to be standing. So that, yeah, that is his trademark, his height, being taller than everyone else. Moving on to the next one, we have Sakamoto Days. Yeah, an ongoing anime as well. I did not watch it. Tenohira Sakamoto-san. Okay, there is a scale figure of him later in Ami Ami. This is the palm-sized figure once again, 7,000 yen. And this looks like a price figure, man. This looks terrible compared to Kei earlier. Not to say this is a good-looking figure, but this is better looking than Sakamoto. Yeah, this looks like a price figure. And the last figure on pre-order this week on HLJ, MegaHouse GEM again. Yep, Gintama, Gin-san, 7,000 yen as well. Yeah, among the three, Sakamoto looks worst. Maybe his black suits make things even worse, right? Because you can't see any shading paint work. Moving on to Ami Ami for some exclusives. Only one exclusive this week. We have Sakamoto Days, Taro Sakamoto by MegaHouse, 23,000 yen, releasing in November 2025. I like the pose really. I call this the complete package. You have a very nice pose. And then you have diorama base. And the color is kind of attractive too. Yeah, a complete package. Too bad that this is an exclusive. Right, moving on to the next one here. The next 6 figures are major content. And it is weird to me. Like, I have no idea how Ami Ami categorizes which figure belongs in the adult section and which one doesn't. Because this figure of One-san is on the homepage, not in the adult section. But there are figures that appear safer that are in the adult section. Yeah, those figures are customable, but the default look is quite safe, so I have no idea. Yeah. This is by binding, 1x4 scale, 33,000 yen is actually a great price for something like this. For those of you who love MILFs, coming out this September. That is like generic textbook example of how a MILF face should look like, a matured woman should look like. Not my kind of thing, but value-wise, not bad at all. Moving on to the next one from Nocturne, one of the higher tier ecchi figure brands. Their QC is quite good. Kanzarin Sensei original character Kana Shinomiya Bani version, 1x5 at 33,000 yen. Yeah, not too bad. 33k is it is expensive, but 1x5, alright, I can accept it. Releasing in December. I like this figure a lot. A lot. It is my kind of thing. Just that I'm too poor as usual. There are so many regrets in my life as a figure collector. Like, sure, I can afford the FGO and even the Nikkei stuff. Sometimes a bit of Blue Archive. But if I were to throw in literally every single ecchi figure that I have missed out on because I couldn't afford them, man, we humans, we need to live to 200 years old, man. Like, 70, 80 years is not enough. The thing is that even if you live to 200, there's still no guarantee that you'll be able to afford. With the way how capitalism works, if an average human lives for 200 years, then you will be working for 175, 180 years. And then your house, your average tiny apartment would cost like 50 million and you'll be taking a 150-year loan. Yeah, so just because you live longer doesn't mean you'll be able to afford things anyway. Moving on to the next figure, Pure. This is a Chinese ecchi figure brand. Yep. And their quality is great, right? For some reason, Ami Ami is giving y'all a very generous discount over here. From 24,000 yen down to almost 22,000 yen, we have Taimanin Asagi Zero, Asagi Igawa at 1x6, only 22k. Releasing this December. I'll save my rant for later. Releasing in December, and at this scale, plus an extra torso part which I couldn't show on screen, yeah, You get to see the secret garden down there, the pink gate down there. Extra torso part plus 1/6 skill figure for 22,000 yen is a bargain. Yeah, from one of the better brands among all of the ecchi brands. Get it if you like her. And of course, if there is Asagi, there will be Sakura, right? These two characters, they are like, yeah, the main characters in this game. Same price and also releasing in December. And the rant I have over here is that why is everything coming out in December? Yeah, I am going to bring up that 1/4 scale Nikkei figure, Cinderella from last week by Hobby Sakura. That thing is also coming out in December. And since then, I have seen like 4 or 5 figures that I really want, all coming out in December. Life is tough. Alright, moving on to the next one here. We have Kugumi Purin illustrated by Aki, 1/6 scale by Omaha, ecchi Chinese figure brand. 15,000 yen, releasing in January 2026. Yup, customable. Just Hadaka apron, nothing too special, right? At least she's cheap though, but nothing too attractive about this figure. And the last figure on Ami, wow, we have free run, starting a new income source on OnlyFans because gotta pay the bills. Rent is expensive. Eternal Courtesan Elf 3 Rosalina by Hot Venus, one of the top tier ecchi figure brands associated with Native. 30,000 yen, almost. April 2026 release. Long waits as well. Paintwork is already looking amazing, man. I mean, I couldn't show you guys much on screen, but the gradient work on the hair is outstanding. Yeah, I'm always looking for weathering in figures first. Even the thighs, the skin region, the oshiri, everything, even the skin can see a lot of gradient work. Lovely. Moving on to the last stop for genuine figures. Yup, Ninin game. We have 3 figures from FOTS Japan and Insight this week. The first one is by FOTS Japan. Kotori 1/5 scale swimsuit version, 23,000 yen. This is a safe for work figure. I know the pose is like that, but she is wearing full swimsuit and having a peace sign. Yeah. And if you want to undress her, then you get the Insight version for the same price. You need to get both, right? And yeah, have the figure lean against each other, against their backs, like those ecchi figures I covered last week. Very similar in a way. And the last figure over here, giving service on the ecchi live stream. Yeah, this is your average OnlyFans figure. Nekone Konyan 1/5 scale, 22,264 yen, releasing in August. And that is all for genuine figures on pre-order this week. Moving on to third-party resins, making use of OSGK, our affiliate partner for third-party resins. As usual, if you plan to pre-order or purchase anything from HLG or OSGK, please do make use of my affiliate links in the descriptions below to enter these websites. And that is how you support this channel, without paying a single cent in extra, in fact. Right, so starting off with Anyas as usual. We have at least 6 or 7 of them this week, but the first one here is my favorite, because this is quite a nice crossover. Totoro pajamas with, Anya Forger. $72. There are 2 versions over here, the red version you're looking on screen and also the white version. They are quite different. Some people will prefer to get both, and I wouldn't blame them. This is very adorable. And there is nothing I would complain about the face of this Anya figure. In fact, this looks almost better than even the genuine figures out there. I'm quite impressed. Yeah. Okay, next one here. ZH Studio Anya Forger Cos Gojo Satoru from JJK. Okay, so there's the white hair version, which in my opinion looks better. Like, I get the reference, right? That it is Gojo Satoru over here with the white hair and those black glasses on top. And there is a pink hair version. Not feeling the JJK vibe. The white hair version gives me that vibe. So this is what I would choose. $111, yeah, pricey because of that base over there. Releasing in no release date. Moving on to the next Anya figure. Wow, what is this? Cosplaying Uchiha Obito. Alright, this is by Yaoling Zhaowu Studio. Black hair and pink hair. Is this from Naruto? Yeah, please laugh at me. Like, This could be a very famous character and I know nothing, though it sounded familiar. Feel free to laugh at me because I don't watch shonen stuff outside of Kime Yaiba. $111. To me, right, the black color version this time around, it makes the figure looks kind of dark, while the pink one will make the figure look brighter and more cheerful in a way. I just love the face expression there. Moving on to the next one. This one is not that nice, to be honest. Cost 6 buffs. What is that? Like, what character is that? Yellow hair, sunny eyes. Yellow hair, normal eyes. And pink hair, normal eyes. I'm not feeling it for all three versions. For some reason, the figure looks a little bit incomplete. Maybe I'm looking at a CGI render. I feel like I'm looking at CGI, not an actual figure over here. Yeah. This is a render. No wonder it looked a little bit weird. Okay, moving on to the next one here. Naruto crossover this time around. $97. Pink hair or yellow hair? Let's see which one looks a bit nicer. Actually, yellow hair is nice for this one. Yeah, I think with the Naruto reference, yellow hair is better for this version. $97, no release date again. Next Anya figure. Hey, the same one. Oh no, this is called Obito. Okay, wait. Are they different? Oh, okay. No. Brain fart moment. Of course, it is the same character. Just that, yeah, two different companies making the same thing because we have industrial espionage going on in behind the scenes. Like, oh, our competitor is making this, let's do the same thing. Of course, it is the same character, man. Brain fart moment over here because I am quite exhausted. Yesterday I was making content until over 1 a.m. 1:30 a.m. even because I am photographing a prototype figure for a figure company. Yes, figure companies are getting me to photograph figures for them and making videos as well. So I was doing stuff until 1 a.m. and then did not go to bed until 3:30, 4 a.m. and got up just a few hours later on. So now, the next day, I'm filming this thing, a 1 hour plus video before editing. And I need to continue my shooting work later on, the final stages. So yeah, brain fart moment over here. My brain is not at 100% at the moment. Okay, so back to this figure over here. Between the two versions, this is like CGI render, right? Yep, looks like CGI to me. And this one already looks so much better. The one by Yaoling Jiao Studio. Yeah, this is by Cosplay Studio. $98. Same price even. Okay, so the next Spy Family figure over here, we have Your Forger by Waku Waku Studio. They are like Spy Family specialists at this point. $148 releasing in September. Generic red dress, right? Yep, just a generic summer dress. Nice base though. I love that phonograph base over there. I love it. Unless you really want your forger in 1/6, not 1/7 scale, yeah, look for the depreciated good smile figure. It is worth it, man. Moving on to the next figure over here, we have 3 Boa Hancock figures. The first one is my favorite version and also the most expensive one from Big Feeler Studio. 1/7 scale, but despite the scale, this is a huge figure. Oh, this is the high-end version, the one I'm looking at, $361. The standard version or low version is $183. Big difference. And the standard version is already 32 centimeters tall. Okay, so we take a look at the high-end version over here. Wow! I feel like I've seen a third-party figure brand do Boa Hancock with the same pose before in the past. Like, is this a re-release? This feels so familiar. It is like somebody has made this figure before, third party as well. If this is a re-release, I'm not too surprised, and they should, because this is one of the best Boa Hancock figures I've seen. I'm normally not an effects-based kind of guy. I don't like effect parts, but for this figure, it works really well. It is really nice and no complaints about the face. Yeah, this has to be one of the best Boa Hancock figures I've seen in recent months from third parties. The second Boa Hancock figure over here by Tianyi Studio. So there are several versions over here available in electroplated purple or white color, right? The other version has to be white color. Let me have a look. Yep, there we go. Actually, even the white one looks pretty attractive. Man, the big filler version earlier already ruined Boa Hancock to me. Like, even there is nothing wrong with this figure, this is already looking a little bit inferior to the previous one. Nothing wrong with it, just that there is a better one. I wonder if I will end up buying a Boa Hancock figure one day. I can see that happening. So this one starts from $185, can go all the way up to $292. High-end version, yep, of course, with the serpent, right? LED base. Oh yeah, LED base, very nice. So $292 for everything over here doesn't seem too bad. And this, what is the scale? No scale mentioned. Let's have a look at the dimensions. 32 cm, 1/7. Yeah. I'm factoring in the base over here, around 1/7 as well. The third Boa Hancock figure is the meh one from Fengxiang Studio, but only $142. You can have her in this white swimsuit or the red color version. At least she is cheap though, right? Nothing too special. And let's move on to the next One Piece figure over here. This is Perona, Searching for Maria by Toys My Dream Studio. So far, this studio makes a lot of One Piece stuff. Yep. I don't think there will ever be a figure brand that messes up her face. Her face is so easy to paint, I think. Nice package. This is very nice, man. When is she coming out? Because this could be, yeah, a Christmas themed figure even. What is this thing over here? Looks like a ghost made from Bukake, yeah. Right, what is the price again? $245, right? Yep, $245, releasing in, no release date. Sad. This better come out by Christmas because it is like a Christmas figure to me. 40 cm in size. Wow, this is huge. Moving on to the next one, we have second batch of the 3 generals of the Big Mom Pirates Minister of Juice Charlotte Smoothie. What the? Too lazy to think right now. C2 Studio. And this is a huge figure again. 4 versions over here. Small scale standard version. $167. Let's have a look. This is Charlotte. Gosh! The head of this character be like. And then the legs will be longer than. Damn. One Piece and their weird character designs. Okay, small scale high-end version. Nicer base, I see. Now we have purple Bukake. Slime. And then large scale standard version. 2 different sizes available. Okay. 2 different sizes available, and you get to choose between the standard base or the deluxe base. Right, the deluxe one is $345. The small scale one would be $265. Okay. 31.5 and 40.7 cm. So this is like between 1.8 and 1.6, I think. Given how weird the proportion is of this character, I'm not sure how to estimate the scale. Right, moving on to the next one from Hunter Cross Hunter, where Phantom Troop 3rd Edition Machi and Pakunoda. Machi, how to pronounce her name? Because Machi means dead in my national language. Okay, December release, no scale again. 28 and 32 centimeters. Which is which? Also, this is Machi, 28 cm. This is 32 cm. 50-year-old office lady. Okay, moving on to the next one here. This is an update from last week. Last week we got a teaser in the form of a silhouette. Now we get to see the full figure in its glory by Elf, Forest, Studio, Xenoblade, Pyra, and Mitra. And this is some of the cheapest 1x4 scale figures I've ever seen from a third party. So at 1x4 scale, a set, the price is $485. So this is less than $250, like $242 each for 1x4 scale, which is not too far off, yeah, Free Ink's Bunny Girls. Except this is better than a Free Ink Bunny Girl at this point because it is more detailed. And all I care about right now is the face looking good. As long as they maintain the face, they look the same as these pictures over here. This is a worthy pre-order. Of course, at this price point, do not expect any cast-off parts, but hey, that is fine. $245 each, man. $245 each and you get 1x4. If you don't have the space, $340 for a set at 1x6 scale, so that is about $170 each. Yeah, reasonable, but obviously the 1x4 is the best value over here. Moving on to the next 1x4 scale original character and licensed resin figure by Yi Chi Fang Studio and Polaris Studio. We have original pink statue by Jin Kwang Park, or Park Jin Kwang, Korean artist. Interesting. $518 releasing in December. Is this like Alice from Nikkei but realistic? And without the twin tail? I mean the same pink color suit. Very cyberpunkish. Oh, I love that shotgun. That is beautiful, man. Oh. I'm crazy for details. That is the thing. This is the kind of thing that catches my attention. Right, very nice. I like it. Okay, moving up to the next 1x4 scale Jime Play Studio licensed figure brand. League of Legends Ahri, $491 at 1x4 scale, which is very reasonable considering we have 9 tails over here, literally, releasing in March 2026. Alright, she looks kind of nice, but probably the best value buy is the one by Good Smart Arts Shanghai, right? The 1x7. Yeah, 1x7 for around 27 or 30,000 yen. And Good Smart Arts Shanghai has a really nice figure of Ahri at 1x7 that looks amazing. Is it already on pre-order? I can't remember anymore. But if you want something more extravagant, this is worth checking out. Man, the waist armor over here is outstanding. You know, sometimes I do wonder, when I see game characters wear this kind of waist armor around, right? Like, how do they actually turn their body? How do they bend like that? Like, wouldn't that be extremely uncomfortable, you know? But we don't question anime logic or game logic. Yeah. Okay, moving on to the next one here. Gundam Girl RX-93. New Gundam, right? Yeah, New Gundam by Max Milk Studio. 1x4. This thing's massive, man. Because that funnel backpack is good. It is quite tall, I think. December release at $451. Not bad, actually. What is the height? At 1.4. 71 cm. Wow. Yeah, because the human part alone is at least 40 centimeters, and then there is an elevated base which looks incredible. Please give me a nice purple hair waifu girl with, yeah, Mighty Strike Freedom Gundam. I would buy it in 1.4. Even though the wingspan is going to be massive. Strike Freedom is fine. Mighty Strike is even better. I told you guys, details are my kind of thing. I should stop looking at the pictures before my wallet feels even more threatened. Moving up to the next one. Do you like your Pokemon's hot? Because we have one here. Gardevoir by Rodan Studio, $116. Coming out, no release date, but this is apparently 1x7 to 1x8 scale. This is actually for furry lovers, right? Disguised as a Pokemon. Alright. Interesting figure. Moving up to the next one here from YYDS Studio, Detective Conan Maid series Maid Mari Run. $165 black color or blue color maid, right? Oh, blue is nice. No, because a lot of maid outfits, they are always black or dark grey. So for once, blue color is not bad at all. December release. So Detective Conan, it is like pop-up parades or nothing, right? Yeah, pop-up parades, Tenitals or nothing. Like I said earlier, these are older art style anime characters, not really worth going for these ultra expensive PVC figures or even resin figures. With Mari Run over here, well, 165 is not expensive for the standards of a resin figure, but still pretty pricey for a figure of a classic anime character. Because you need to remember, back then in the early or mid 2000s, when anime figures were slowly becoming a thing, back then a scale figure cost like 4,000 yen, 5,000 yen, yeah. Moving on to the next figure over here, now we go into Honkai style territory. 2 figures this week. The first one, Ting Yun. 2 versions over here. Okay, the version A you're looking on screen, $377. Considering the size of this thing at 1/6 scale, $377 almost seems like a steal, but this figure is excessive. This is too much. Wow. Details galore. I love it. But this is a bit much. Oh, I see. This is based on a reference on that artwork. I don't know what it is called. Like, I think you know which one I'm referring to. This has to be a reference of that artwork, that classic artwork. Not artwork, more like a sculpture, right? Okay. Creative at least. And then there is a more normal version B for $244. Yeah, she looks just as good, isn't it? Ting Yun, at the time being, I think we only have low budget figures by MegaHouse. Yeah, the Gift Plus series. No proper skill yet. And you can get both for $580. I would say choose the one you like best and just stick with that. Doesn't make much sense to get both. Unless you're a big fan of Ting Yun, obviously. The second one here, Kafka again. And I have no idea what is up with that title over there by Rainbow Studio. Honkai style, beautiful girl handwriting, coloring, finish, product, Kafka. What? Just call it casual version. Okay, so this is $182, which is somewhat reasonable, releasing in December. And the face on this Kafka looks fine. Not the best I've seen, but looks fine. Don't have much to complain for a figure like this with that nice, with the nice sofa. Is that even a sofa? A stool. Looks like a bar stool, a very premium one we see in a high-end bar. All of this for $182 is okay. And then moving on to the next one, Azur Lane territory. We have like 4 figures. Is it 3 or 4 figures? The first one is Kearsarge. What is up with so many Kearsarge figures recently? Since OneFest. So this is by Blooming Lily Studio. I remember them best for their 1/4 scale Shinano. Yeah, the one where she's sitting on the ground eating pizza and with all those big tails. Where I was complaining about how there is a lack of shading on the hair. I still remember that Shinano figure very well because it was pretty cheap. 1/4 scale, $350 or so. But yeah, the paint could be better in terms of the detailing. Now, they have this Kearsarge over here, 1/4 scale at $304. So, they are sticking with this very good pricing over here. 1/6 scale can be had at $209. Not the most detailed thing in the world, but you can have a 1/4 scale at $300. Hey, you can consider it. Not too bad, really. Okay, moving on to the next one. We have Yao Ming Studio, Azur Lane, Admiral Nakimov. $109 only. And despite how hot this thing looks, nope, not customable, unfortunately. September 2025 release very soon, 6 months away. I suppose I don't have to explain why I cropped off one of her legs, right? Yeah, stupid AI. I like her face. Her face looks nice. And this is so cheap, $110. Kind of tempted myself. Like, I just wanted to know what some third-party resin figure brands are like. But my budget is limited. But this thing is $111, $110. Yeah, kind of tempted. Moving on to the next one, we have Moe Cute Studio A Gear Evening Dress from Azur Lane, $209 with everything in this picture, which is, yeah, great value. December release. And even if this is a great value, I'm not feeling it because of how lacking in terms of the amount of detail on the figure. I'm a detail enthusiast. And for Air Gear, around $200 US, don't know which figure I'll tell you to get for the $200 price point. The one by Any Game. Yeah, went on pre-order a month or 2 months ago in red dress, I believe, red Chinese dress, and then with all these Chinese furniture where she's sitting on and surrounding her. Around 25,000 yen, I think. Yeah, get that one, right? So let's move on to the next one here. Now, Blue Archive, 2 figures, I think. 2 or 3 figures. Plana White Tights by Fixed Cast Studio, $185, December 2025. And you know what's the saddest thing about this figure is that it is not customable because every lolly character in Blue Archive needs to be undressed. That is why people play Blue Archive to begin with, right? There are so many memes on Blue Archive involving this topic online. So this is coming out in December. $185 is somewhat reasonable. Not cheap, not expensive. Somewhat okay. And the face looks good. That's the most important part. Yeah, the face looks really good over here. Next one. Ooh, wow. So with Sukatsuki Ryo from Blue Archive, I think a couple of weeks ago or maybe a month ago, there was this one by Migin Studio where she was bending down and then you get to enjoy her nice backside where she was wearing black stockings. You can buy her with bare legs, but the black stockings look better to me. That was still the better one if I had to choose. But this one, the sculpting is top tier for her bottom half, which I couldn't put on screen. Face-wise, the Migin Studio is better, but yeah, bottom half of the figure, this is quite nice. Or maybe get both. SC Studio is okay. Their figures are okay, right? Not the best thing in the world, but feel free to get it. They are not too bad. No release date, unfortunately, and you can get her for $185 only. Moving on to the next one. Yep, Blue Archive as well. This is a licensed resin figure. Amano Ako, art by Dish. $167 for a figure from Blue Archive that is not a lolly, and yeah, that face expression is quite something. That annoyed face expression, you don't get that often in any figure. So maybe consider this one if you like her. For a licensed figure at 1/6 scale, $167 is not expensive at all. Hell, this is marginally cheaper than the unlicensed one I just covered earlier, right? And she doesn't look half bad at all. And the last figure for this week, this is pretty good as well, from Beast Studio. Uma Musume Special Week Cat Claw. I like it a lot. This reminds me of the Ilya and Kuro figure, also in this cat claw outfit. Which company was it? I think it was Revolve, right? Was it Revolve? Or was it, what's the name again? Oh god. I told you guys my brain isn't functioning. Claynel, yes. Was it Revolve or Claynel? I think they are the same company, right? So there was this Fate Khalid Prisma Ilya figure in this very similar outfit but with more clothes on. They were amazing. And this figure of Special Week reminds me of that. At $167 painted version, could be a good buy for those of you who love Uma Musume. And maybe if you are feeling ambitious, you want to try painting your own figure, you can buy the white model for $129. Yeah. And that is all for figures on pre-order this week. Which one will you get? Let me know down in the comments below. For me, maybe I'm not pre-ordering anything this week. Maybe. What about you? Let me know. Yep. And until then, if you found this video to be informative or entertaining in any way, please give this video a like, subscribe to this channel for more content like this every week. And until then, I'll see you guys again very soon. Thanks again and goodbye.